I'm back with another unboxing video tonight. 2 unboxing videos in one night. Yeah, I know. This, if you can tell by the thumbnail, is the Magic the Gathering. What is it? Ravnica Allegiance's Deck Builders Toolkit. I don't know what's in it. Still sealed. Unboxing video. There's a blade over here somewhere. I'll just try this. Part of a old fork. Of course, my dumbass hasn't learned because I tried using a butter knife to open up really thick packaging, and I got to cut with stitches. And now I'm using plasticware, broken plasticware to try and open up another package. But yeah, there's the package. This is what the box looks like. Top, same design. Bottom's all black. And there's the back. Goes over, expand your collection instantly. It says, comes with 4 15-card booster packs from recent sets. At least one of them is a Ravnica Allegiance. 3 other booster packs that are basically question marks. So it comes with 100 basic lands, which means there's 20 swamps, 20 plains, 20 islands, 20 forests, and 20 mountains. There's a deck builder's guide, 125 cards from recent sets, and a reusable storage box, which is that. And I just lost the deck builder's guide. There's the deck builder's guide. What is the deck builder's guide? Explains what it is, explains how to build a deck, explains the colors of a deck, building around synergy. Mana curve. That I might actually have to read through on my own time and play and refine your deck. It says quick reference. Here's a list of tips to refer to as you build your deck. Expand your collections. Get more cards to build a wider variety of decks with booster packs available wherever Magic is sold. I'm going to have to read through that. But yeah, this is what you guys came here to see, though. You even got that new card smell. Here's what the inside of the box looks like. I'll take this divider out. Oh, this is a divider. There's the packs. And then here's all the loose cards. I'm going to set that box. I'm going to be able to reuse it. I'm going to set that box off to the side. It says it came with lands. I don't know if yeah, it says it came with 100 basic lands and 125 cards. It's loose cards. I don't see any lands in here, though. So I'm probably mixed in there. I'm going to start with this bundle of cards. It's just random cards. See if I can find out where to open it. I want to say I found it, but it's not coming undone. So I'm going in from the top. That one's not doing it, so I'm going in from the bottom. And you failed. Can't get in. There we go. Got the package finally. We got a little opening, but I need to find a way to actually open it all the way. There we go. Finally. Oh, yeah. The lands are just mixed in there. So we've got first card. It's an uncommon. It's a 4-mana cost for a 4/3 human knight. The card is called True Fire Captain. And it's called True Fire Captain. It's a human knight. It has Mentor, and whenever it is dealt damage, it deals that much damage to target player. We have Boros Challenger. 2-mana cost for a human soldier. 2/3. Again, it has Mentor, and you can pay 4 to give it +1/+1 until the end of the turn. We have Beacon Bolt. Beacon Bolt is a 3-mana cost sorcery. Beacon Bolt deals damage to target creature equal to the total number of instant and sorcery cards that you own in exile and in your graveyard. And you can jumpstart it, which means you can cast it from your graveyard by discarding a card and exiling Beacon Bolt. And we have Rakdos Firewheeler. 4-mana cost for a 4/3 human rogue. And that's the mana cost up there, for those of you wondering. When it enters the battlefield, it deals 2 damage to target opponent and 2 damage to up to 1 target creature or planeswalker. So it deals a minimum of 2 damage, and you can have it deal an additional 2 damage to a creature or planeswalker. Cackling Drake. 4-mana cost. X4. And the reason I say X for the power there is covered by the effect. 4-mana cost for an X4. Flying. When it enters, it draws a card. And its power is equal to the number of, so the X is basically equal to the number of the total number of instant and sorcery cards that you own in exile and in your graveyard. A Hackrobat again. If you watch my last unboxing video that I did just before this one, I opened up Hackrobat in the packages at the end. It has a 2-mana cost Spectacle cost, and you can cast it from your hand by paying its Spectacle cost if an opponent lost life this turn. Or you can pay 1 to give it Death Touch, or you can pay 1 to give it +2/-2. And we have Dimir Spybug. Another fun one I want to try and incorporate into a deck. 1/1 Flying Menace, and whenever you surveil, you put a 1/1 counter on it. If you don't know what any of these terms mean, look them up. That's all I can say. I'm just trying to go through what the cards are and a brief description of their effects. We have Sunder Shaman. I believe I already opened this in my last unboxing video. Sunder Shaman is a 4-mana cost 5/5 giant shaman. Cannot be blocked by more than 1 creature, which means if if somebody chooses to block Sunder Shaman, they have to use one creature. And then whenever it deals combat damage to a player, destroy target artifacts or enchantment that player controls. We have Golgari Find Broker. It's a 4-mana cost elf shaman. Power and toughness 3/4. When Golgari Find Broker enters the battlefield, return target permanent card from your graveyard to your hand. So it could be a land, it could be an enchantment, it could be an artifact, it could be a creature. Another Zertog Goblin. There were 3 in my last unboxing video that I remember. 2 mana cost. And 2 mana cost, and you get to choose whether it's a 2/2 Glowspore Shaman. I think this one's another Golgari card. Yep, 2 mana cost. Elf Shaman. 3 power and toughness 3/1. When it enters the battlefield, you put 3 cards from your library in your graveyard. You may put a land card from your graveyard on top of your library. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's an odd number. 11 swamp cards. These are land cards. We have Prey Upon, 1 mana cost sorcery. Target creature you control fights target creature you do not control. And we have Open the Gates. It's another 1 mana cost sorcery. Search your library for a basic land card or a gate card and reveal it and put it into your hand and shuffle your library. Siege Worm. 7 mana cost, 5/5 worm. It's got Convoke and Trample. We have Mammoth Spider. It's a 5 mana cost, 3/5 with Reach. And as the name suggests, it is a spider. Rampaging Rend Horn. 5 mana cost, 4/4 with Riot. Territorial Boar. 2 mana cost for a 2/2 boar. And whenever a creature with power of 4 or greater enters the battlefield under your control, this card gets +1/+1 and Vigilance until the end of the turn. Iron Shell Beetle, 2 mana cost, 1/1. Insect creature. When it enters, you put a 1/1 counter on target creature. Next few are red cards. We have Lava Coil. It's a 2 mana cost sorcery. Lava Coil deals 4 damage to target creature. If it would die this turn, exile it instead. Electrostatic Field. 2 mana cost, 0/4 wall. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, it deals 1 damage to target player. Almost lost a card. Have water. My throat's getting dry. I'm about to cough. Made a 35-minute live stream before. I'm now on my second live stream. As you can see, I'm almost 15 minutes in. And we have Clamor Shaman. I believe I opened this in my last pack. It is a 3 mana cost, 1/1 with Riot, and whenever it attacks, Target creature an opponent controls cannot block. We have Goblin Banneret, 1/1 Goblin Soldier for 1. X. You put a 1/1 counter on target attacking creature with lesser power. And you can pay 2 to get it +2/0 until the end of the turn, which means you can pay. Since it's not a tap ability, you can pay that as many times as you like. Next, Dimir Guildgate. Counts as either a swamp or an island. Orzhov Guildgate. We have 2 different designs. Counts as either a swamp or a plains. And we have Azorius Guildgate. Looks like we have 2 of them. Counts as either Azorius is either plains or island. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 6 plains cards. It looks like we have 2 pairs. 2 pairs of artwork. So there's 4 different sets of artwork in that. And then we have Spirit of the Spires. 4 mana for a 2/4 spirit with flying. And it gives other creatures you control with flying gain +0/1. I almost lost the cigarette, but I did lose the lighter. Be right back. Hey, welcome back. Smoke break. Anyway, then we have Ministrant of Obligation, 3 mana cost, 2/1 human cleric creature. And when it dies, you get 2 1/1 black and white spirit tokens with flying. We have Hazda Marshall. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. It's a 1 mana cost, 1/1 human soldier. And whenever Hazda Marshall and at least 2 other creatures attack, you get a 1/1 soldier token with lifelink. Yeah, I'm just losing everything today. We have this Aura enchantment. It is called Luminous Bonds. It is 3 mana cost enchantment. I think this one goes on to creature. Yep, this one goes on to a creature. So you basically enchant a creature, and the enchanted creature cannot attack or block. So you can still use effects, it just cannot attack or block. We have another instant. It's Summary Judgment. 3 mana cost instant. Summary Judgment deals 3 damage to target tapped creature unless you play this card on your main phase. If you play it on your main phase, it deals 5 damage to that creature instead. We have Take Heart. Looks like we have 2 copies of it. Both the same artwork. 2 mana cost, or 1 mana cost instant. Target creature gets +2/+2 until the end of the turn, and then you gain 1 life for each attacking creature you control. So if you play it on your turn, 1 of your creatures gets stronger, and you gain 1 life for each attacking creature. If you play it on your opponent's turn, you don't gain the life. Sworn Companions, 3 mana cost, sorcery. I have got 4 of these in my token deck so far. It's a 3 mana cost, sorcery, and you get 2/1/1 soldiers with lifelink. And we have Blade Instructor, 3 mana cost, soldier, 3 mana cost, power and toughness 3/1, human soldier, and it's got Mentor. And we have Impassioned Orator. Whenever another creature you control enters the battlefield under your control, you gain 1 life. It is a 2/2 human cleric. I might put that in my token deck. Maybe. I've already got 1 in there, I think. We have Healer's Hawk. It is a 1 mana cost, 1/1 bird with flying and lifelink. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 forests. And that was the first pack. This is going to be a long video. Second pack. Unwrapped. And I found where to open it, but still trying to find how to open it. There we go. Started getting it. And you failed. There we go. Hopefully in the future it's not that difficult. There it is unwrapped. First, I like this card. I like the artwork on it. 4 mana cost, 2/2 fungus zombie. And it has Undergrowth. This time I'm going to go over what Undergrowth is because it seems like every card I've seen with Undergrowth on it seems to go over a slightly different effect. Basically, Undergrowth just means the effect involves the cards in your graveyard. This one starts out as a 2/2, but when it enters the battlefield, it enters with a number of 1/1 counters on it equal to the number of creature cards in your graveyard. So if you have, let's say, if you have a 100-card deck and you have, I don't know, 40 creatures in your graveyard, this enters as a 42/42. We have Rosemane Centaur. I have a bunch of these already. It is a 5 mana cost with Convoke and Vigilance. It's a 4/4. We have Lawmage's Binding. One of the few enchantments with Flash. It's a 3 mana cost and aura enchantment with Flash, and you enchant a creature. So whenever I say aura, chances are it's going to be on a creature. It's a 3 mana cost and aura enchantment, and the enchanted creature cannot attack or block, and its activated abilities cannot be activated. So the card this is attached to is essentially useless. Oh, here we go. This one will actually go well in my Rakdos deck that I built. It is Footlight Fiend. 1 mana cost, either red or black. It is a devil, 1/1, And when it dies, it deals 1 damage to any target. We have Whisper Agent. 3 mana cost. At least 2 of them have to be either blue or black or any combination. It is a 3/2 human rogue with flash, and when it enters the battlefield, you surveil 1. And we have this card is called cards and or gate cards, and you get to put them onto the battlefield tapped and shuffle your library. That might go well in my Biovisionary deck that I have. We have next card is Trollbred Guardian. 5 mana cost for a 5/5 Troll Frog Warrior. Pay 3 for Adapt 2, and each creature that you control with a 1/1 counter on it has Trample. On a solid green deck because I was playing on a green deck with a bunch of 1/1 counters on it. And we have District Guide. 3 mana cost for a 2/2 Elf Scout. Hello to the person 2/2 Elf Scout. Battlefield, you may search your library for a basic land card or a card. Reveal it, put it into your hand, and shuffle your library. So it looks like there's a lot of stuff that allows you to search for land cards in green in the new green. In your graveyard. This is Golgari Raiders. 4 mana cost, 0/0 Elf Warrior. Normally it would get destroyed right away. It's a 0/0 haste with 0/0 Elf Warrior with haste and undergrowth. And in this case, I guess this one's the same effect. It enters with the battlefield with a 1/1 counter on it for each creature card in your graveyard. Upon 1 mana, I do these. I haven't even mixed yet. It's target creature you do not control. For 4. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, you get a 1/1 blue bird elusive creature. It's a Terramander. That would go well in the instant sorcery deck. Then we have Prying Eyes. 6 mana cost instant. You draw 4 cards and then discard 2 cards. That one may or may not go well in a deck that I have. I call it a draw deck. Quench, with 2 copies of it. It is 2 mana cost instant, and you counter target spell unless its controller pays 2. So let's say they only have 3 mana on the field. They play something for 3 or for 2. You play Quench, it's countered. But if they have 3 mana on the field and they play something for 1, and then you play Quench, and they pay the 2 to extra, they can't play anything else. Here's an addendum. The addendum part changes on the cards. I've already gone over a few cards with addendum. Basically, it's if you cast this during your main phase, something else happens. This one's a 3-mana cost instant called Arrester's Admonition. Return target creature to its owner's hand, and if you cast this spell during your main phase, you draw a card. We have Shimmer of Possibility. It's a 2-mana cost. 2-mana cost sorcery. Look at the top 4 cards of your library, put one into your hand, and the rest on the bottom of your library. Watcher in the Mist. I've got a few of these. It's a 5-mana cost, 3/4 spirit. There's what it looks like. Chances are anything that's a spirit has flying. This one does. And when it enters the battlefield, you surveil 2. That one's a little high mana cost for my liking, but we have Leapfrog. This one's a 3-mana cost for a 3/1 frog creature, and Leapfrog has we have Fairy Duelist, 2-mana cost, 1/2 Fairy Rogue with flash and flying. When Fairy Duelist enters the battlefield, target creature an opponent controls gets -2/0 until the end of the turn. So basically, it would you'd play it, and it would basically deter them from attacking, or you can play it as they're attacking, and it'll help you. It'll give you the option, or it'll give you the ability to not lose a creature if you play it on the right card. We have an enchantment next. It is a 4-mana cost enchantment called Conclave Tribunal. It has Convoke, and when it enters the battlefield, exile target non-permanent an opponent controls until it leaves the battlefield. And next is a bunch of swamps. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 swamps. And we have miscounted. And then we have four different lockets. The Izzet locket, the Dimir locket, Orzhov locket, and Azorius locket. Izzet lockets count as either blue or red. Dimir lockets count as either blue or black. Orzhov counts as either white or black. And Azorius counts as either white or blue. So it either counts as the mana, or you can pay 4 mana of the colors it produces and sacrifice it to draw 2 cards. And that goes for each one of those 4. We then have Pitiless Pontiff, 2 mana cost, 2/2 Vampire Cleric. You can pay 1 and sacrifice another creature, and it gains indestructible and death touch until the end of the turn. We have Mortify, 3 mana cost, instant, to destroy a creature. And we have a bunch of gates, it looks like. 2 Rakdos Guild gates, counts as either red or black. We have 2 Izzet Guild gates, counts as either blue or red. And we have a Dimir Guild gate, counts as blue or black. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 forests. and 2 mountains. All right, so there's a second set of cards. Third set of cards. This one. There we go. First card on top is a really common card. It's Shivan Dragon. It's a 6-mana cost dragon with flying. And you can pay. So it starts out as a 5/5, or you can pay 1 mana to give it +1/0. So basically, it pumps up the power of the creature. We have 6 mana cost for Sarah's Guardian. 6 mana cost, 5/5 angel with flying. It also has vigilance, and other creatures you control have vigilance. We have Riddle Master Sphinx. This one's if I remember correctly, it may or may not be. Yeah, it's got a decent blue effect. 6 mana cost for a 5/5 Sphinx. It's got flying, and when it enters the battlefield, you may return target creature an opponent controls to its owner's hand. I have at least one of this card. It is Gravewalker. 6 mana cost, 5/5 Bird Spirit. It's got flying, and you can pay 7 to return target creature from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. We have Aggressive Mammoth. I know I've got at least a few of these. It is a 6 mana cost, 8/8. It's got Trample, and it gives all the other creatures you have Trample. And we have a bunch of islands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 islands. We have, let's see, Boros Guild Gates. One of those. We have 2 Gruul Guild Gates. Each one of them has different artwork. 2 Golgari Guild Gates. Again, each one of those has different artwork. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 different planes. Shit ton of land. Orzhov Enforcer. 2 mana cost, 1/2 human rogue with Death Touch. And Afterlife 1. We have Dead Rebels. It is a 4 mana cost sorcery. Spectacle cost is 2, which means you may pay this for spectacle cost rather than its mana cost if an opponent lost life. And return up to 2 target creature cards from your graveyard to your hand. And we have Dead Weight. 2 copies of that. It's an enchantment. 1 mana cost each. Enchanted creature gets -2, -2. And it's, as long as it's attached to the creature, it's a permanent -2. Oh, this one's a slightly different undergrowth effect, which is what I was saying before. 4 mana cost, Moodmark Painter. 4 mana cost, 2/3 Human Shaman. The undergrowth effect is when Moonmark Painter enters the battlefield, target creature gains menace and gains +X/+0 until the end of the turn, where X is the number of creature cards in your graveyard. The other 2 I said in this video gave it +1, a permanent 1/1 as long as it was on the field. Next is Blade Juggler. 5 mana cost for a 3/2 human rogue. And it has a spectacle cost. There's the coughing. So spectacle cost of 3. When it enters the battlefield, it deals 1 damage to you, and you draw a card. So that would go well in a life gain deck. I don't know what I was thinking there. We have Carrion Imp. 4 mana cost, 2/3 Imp with flying. When Carrion Imp enters the battlefield, you may exile target creature card from a graveyard. If you do, gain 2 life. Next, Spinal Centipede. 3 mana cost for a 3/2 insect. When it dies, you put a 1/1 counter on target creature you control. So that would go well in a Golgari. What is it? Golgari Undergrowth deck. We have Barrier of Bones. I have a bunch of these. I was wanting to use this card for a mill deck that I wanted to try. Barrier of Bones, it's a 1 mana cost, 0/3 with Defender, and when it enters, you surveil 1. And we have Chemster's Insight. 4 mana cost was an instant. 4 mana cost instant. You draw 2 cards, and it has Jumpstart, which means you can, if you exile it and discard a card and pay its mana cost, you can play it out of the graveyard. Sinister Sabotage. 3 mana cost, instant, counter target spell, and surveil 1. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And we have 11 different mountains. All right. Last big pack, and then we move on to the 4 booster packs. I'm not exactly sure what to call these packs, but that one was easy to open. I'm not sure what to call these big packs, but the box says that you get so many. You get 100 lands and then like 125 other cards from recent sets. There's a few cards in here that I could use. First one, Frilled Mystic. Was a 4 mana cost, Elf Lizard Wizard. Power and toughness of 3/2. It's got a flash, and when it enters the battlefield, you may counter target spell. So it's a creature that allows you to counter a spell. Here's a fun one. Sharkdo Crab. 4 mana cost, 4/4 Shark Octopus Crab. And whenever you put one or more 1/1 counters, or whenever one or more 1/1 counters are put on Sharkdo Crab, tap target creature an opponent controls. That creature is not untapped during its next untap step. Fun one. World Soul Colossus. Name of the card is World Soul Colossus. 2 mana plus X. X could be 0. X could be 100. It is a 0/0 elemental with Convoke, which is good that they put Convoke on this X mana cost creature. When it enters the battlefield, it enters with X 1/1 counters on it. So basically, whatever you pay for X is how many 1/1 counters it gets. We have Conclave Cavalier. 4 mana cost. Centaur Knight with 4/4. And Vigilance. And when it dies, you get 2 green and white Elf Knight creature tokens with Vigilance. That's what I was talking about with creature tokens. Those get summoned by effect, not mana cost. House Guildmage. 2 mana cost, 2/2 human wizard. You can pay 2 and tap it to have target creature not untap during its controller's next untap step. Or you can pay 3 and tap it to surveil. Hello to whoever just joined not too long ago. Welcome to my unboxing. I know I'm already almost 50 minutes in. So thank you for joining. We have I can't talk. Sphinx of New Prov. 4 mana cost, 4/3. Flying and Vigilance. Spells your opponent's cast that target Sphinx of New Prov costs 2 more to cast. So the only thing I'm not sure about is whether or not we have Senate Guildmage. 2 mana cost for a 2/2 human wizard. You can pay 1 and tap it to gain 2 life, or pay 1 and tap it to draw a card, then discard a card. Sky Knight Legionnaire. I have a bunch of these already. 3 mana cost for a 2/2 human knight, flying and haste. Imperious Oligarch. 2 mana cost for a 2/1 human cleric. It's got Vigilance and Afterlife 1. Goblin Electromancer. This one's a Goblin Electromancer. Is a 2 mana cost, 1/1 goblin. Instant source spells cast cost 1 to cast. We have 2/2 until end of turn, and it fights target creature you do not control. Artifacts, we have Simic, Selesnya, Boros, Gruul, Golgari, and Rakdos. So it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the 10 different guilds are represented here. It says it's an artifact that counts as 1 of 2 of those colors. Or you can pay 2, tap it, and sacrifice it to draw 2 cards. And then we have a few gates. We have 2 Simic Guild gates. Again, these ones count as either or for 2 different colors. Simic Gate, which counts as either red or white. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 8 different plains cards. We then have Skewer the Critics. It's a 3-mana cost sorcery. It's got Spectacle for 1 mana. And it deals 3 damage to any target. We then have Maximize Velocity. 1 mana cost sorcery. And target creature gains +1/+1. Burn Bright. 5 mana for a 6/5 Ogre Berserker, and it attacks each turn if able. We then have 3 Goblin Gatherings. Like it is 3 mana cost, sorcery, and you create X 1/1 red goblin creature tokens, where X is equal to 2 plus the number